Good morning from Chisinau. Yesterday I showed you Chisinau city center, and today I'm heading out to its countryside, visiting one of the largest wine cellars in the world. Moldova is really big on wine, so that should be interesting. And then I'm also gonna visit a monastery carved from Iraq. So yeah, also interesting. So let's go. I think the driver is here. I was told that we're going to visit other sites first before heading to the Cave Monastery and wine cellar. So our first stop is called Curchi Monastery. This is there. So yeah, let's go in. Oh wow, look at that. The church is just as impressive inside as it is outside. The monastery was built in the 1700s, though the current churches were built in the late 1800s. There are 3 churches inside the monastery. This is the oldest one, this is the biggest, and this one is called the Winter Cathedral. So that's a quick visit to the monastery. We're heading back to the car now. Initially, I thought this was a meteorite crater, but this is more impressive than that. This is an archaeological complex shaped by water erosion. This is just an overview of the area, as we're actually heading there in a minute. We're at the Archaeological complex now, and they have an archaeological museum here. They have items dating back to the 10th century BC, including human bones, male and female. We then drove to a village called Butuceni, filled with traditional Moldovan-style houses. We even went to the cellar where they store fresh and pickled vegetables. Sitting on top of this lonely hill is this church, dedicated to the Ascension of St. Mary. This was built in 1905 but was shut down by the Soviets in 1944 and remained abandoned throughout the communist regime. A few meters from the church is the Cave Monastery, and this is its belfry. There's no definite date when exactly the Cave Monastery appeared. Some believe that the monastic life was led here since the 12th century, while others refer to the foundation to the 15th century. The monastery was discovered in 1821 when the residents of Butuceni cut a 20-meter corridor in the rock and found themselves inside the church. The view from here is spectacular. There's a priest that permanently lives in this cave. There are also rooms at the back which I assumed were used as pilgrims' accommodation back in the day. So we are now in Cricova, which is the highlight of this tour. We got on a golf buggy and got driven straight down to the cellar. They warned me about how cold it gets inside, and they were not joking. No matter how warm or cold it is outside, the temperature inside the cellar is always around 10 degrees Celsius. And if you add a wind chill whilst being driven around, then it could get a lot colder. You cannot visit the cellar without a tour guide, so make sure you book ahead. The tunnels are quite dark until you get to the designated stops, where tons of wine barrels are stored. These bottles, more than 35,000 of them, are rotated by hand every other day. Apparently, that's the optimum way of moving the sediments around until they're ready to be bottled as sparkling wine. I also love their street signs here. It's so cool. So behind me is the map of the whole cellar. And we are here. So there's like another world down there, which we've not explored yet. This actually doesn't feel like just a cellar, it's an underground wine city. This place is immense. They even have a chapel here, for goodness sake. Here's the photos of famous politicians who's got their wine collections stored in this cellar. It includes Angela Merkel, and from what I've read online, also includes Putin, but I cannot see his photos on the wall. The private wine collection area is enormous, but the highlight is the red wine called Easter Jerusalem, bottled in 1902. For the actual wine tasting, they have different rooms with different themes, which is quite interesting. I mean, look at this place. That's incredible. The wine was actually really good. Normally, I would pick a favorite, but in this case, all the wines that they offered were all really good. So the wine tour's just finished, but we didn't know how to get back. So that there, it says exit. I went that way, and I'm not gonna go that way on my own. Say hi, these are the other people that are lost. I will see you in the next video. Kita kits, or as you say here in Moldova, ni vidím in current.